Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about 7 habits of highly effective people. So which is very interesting topic and useful for everyone in their life, in their personal as well as in professional career. So let us look at what are these 7 habits which is coming out from the book written by Stephen Richards Covey, and see how we can apply them in our day-to-day life, either in personal life or in professional life. So before just getting into that, if you look at this author Stephen, he is an American educator, author, businessman, key speaker, and it's a self-improvement book, right? It is published in 1989, around 30 years back, but still each one of the habits that he described in his book are valid and useful for everyone, even today or in future as well. So it is worth going through this book completely, or if you don't have time, you can go through this video to understand the summary of 7 habits and how we can apply them in our day-to-day life. So it is also number one most influential book of 20th century, and almost 1.5 crore books sold and translated into more than 20 languages, right? And these are life changing principles, habits, and it has great influence on everybody's life, and hope it will be same with you, or to that matter with anyone who follows it. So Stephen said he didn't invent these habits. What he did was to discover, identify those principles that made individuals and organizations and families and everything else most effective, and what was they are doing on a consistent basis, put them into a format. So let's go ahead and look at what are these 7 habits, life changing habits, right? And friends, before getting into that, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and also press bell icon if you want to watch my latest videos, right, on YouTube. And also, if you like this video, you click on like and also share this video, because this video is very much important and useful for everyone. You can share with either any of your friends or colleagues, whoever you think they will get benefit out of it. So without waiting, let's get into 7 habits. So what is the purpose of these 7 habits, right? So if you look at the purpose of this, is basically character building. This helps you in character building, right? So let me write down character. So we haven't gone into the 7 habits actually. So we are just discussing what is the advantage of these 7 habits. So why we need these 7 habits, right? So if you want to improve your character building, then it's worthwhile to look at all these 7 habits, right? And so the name of the book says 7 habits of highly effective people, right? He is stressing on effective people. So what is the meaning of effective? So if you look at effective. Let me take another color. Effective. What is the meaning of effective? So you must have heard another word, efficient. If you are working, maybe you must have heard this many times. Efficient. You should work efficiently, right? That's what people say. But what is the meaning of effective that Stephen is given in the book title, right? Let's say, for example, you need to climb a ladder. Okay, so you need to climb a ladder, and of course you have a wall here, right? So now you need to climb this ladder. So what efficient person do is he will go ahead and climb. He is the first person who is going to achieve this target. He will just like that, he will go and climb the ladder. But what effective person do, that is the difference. What effective person do is he will first check whether the ladder is leading to the right wall, right? Whether this wall is this the right wall where you need to climb this ladder? Is there any advantage of climbing this ladder? So if you are after climbing, if you realize this is not the right wall, then you need to rework on entire thing. So how good example is this? So what effective people means is first they will decide what is right for them, and then they will start implementing it. So this is something which is, I thought, very useful for all of you. So let's try to be effective rather than efficient, right? So before Stephen gets into 7 habits, he talks about paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. So what is this paradigm shift? See, the paradigm shift is the way you look at things, right? The way you look at things. It changes your character. So if you change the way you look at things, it changes your character. So the way you look at things is very, very important, because it is going to change the behavior, the character, how you react to the things. So he has given one example. In New York City, on the subway, one person was sitting, and then his kids were creating lot of noise and shouting and creating disturbance to all the people. So then a third person came there, and he was asking him, so why don't you control them? They are creating lot of disturbance to others. Then very silently, with low voice, father said, his mother passed away an hour back, and I don't know how to explain these kids, how to tell these kids. So now, if you are in that third person position, your behavior completely changes. The way you react completely changes, right? So this is what paradigm shift, the way you look at things, it changes completely, right? So this is what is paradigm shift. So now we are getting into the 7 habits So I would like to tell you, before going into the 7 habits, there are 3 stages. One is dependence. So what is this dependence? A kid depending on mother, right? So from dependence, the kid goes to independence. Goes to independence. He can do on his own. Then Stephen says, we all think that independence, if you are doing on your own, is great. But there is another step on top of it, is interdependence. Interdependence. So this is how you are going to grow when you are going through these 7 habits. So now here, habit 1, habit 2, habit 3. These 3 habits talks about dependence, and this is a private victory. Dependence and independence. Private victory. And now from here you move on to habit 4, habit 5, habit 6. So this is independence to interdependence, right? So these 3 habits helps you from going from dependence to independence, and these 3 helps you from independence to interdependence. And there is a 7th habit, which is habit 7. This is going to help you in sharpening you all the overall way, right? So here we said this is private victory, and then this is public victory. So once you go through all the habits, you will understand how you can go from dependence to independence to interdependence using all these 7 habits. So let's get into the first habit. What is the first habit? Be proactive. Be proactive. So this is very important, in either in your personal life or in your business life. So generally your boss maybe keeps saying you should be proactive to customer, not reactive. So before customer comes back and escalates, you need to be very proactive and respond to his requirements rather than reacting to customer once he sends you an escalation or an email, right? So this is keep people hearing, whoever is working. So what is this be proactive? This is the habit of personal responsibility. Habit of personal responsibility, right? And this is a foundation to other habits. This is a foundation to other habits. Okay. So this means you are taking charge of your own life. Nobody is in charge of your life, right? If you don't get something, you cannot blame others. You need to take charge of your own life. So you see, as I mentioned, you have two type of people. One is proactive and other one is reactive. So as I have given you example in office environment, how you are reacting to the customer, whether you are proactive or reactive, right? So what proactive people do? They think and try to solve any problem and they take responsibility, right? They take initiative, right? And they think always I can do it, I can change this, I can make it, right? Also, they always search for alternatives. They don't stop, right? They search for alternative solutions, how to achieve the goal or requirement, and they will take complete ownership irrespective of the result, right? So when you are proactive, you make a choice about how you react to things that happen in your life. You act like a water bottle, not like a coke tin. So what is this water bottle? See, if you have a water bottle, right, and a coke tin, right, this is a water bottle and this is a coke tin. So what happens when you shake these two? When you shake coke tin, it will explode, right? But water bottle, it doesn't. So what is the shake? People will keep coming and shaking you up, right? They will make you mad. They will ask you to do so many things, right? Irrespective of whether that is required or not. So many people keep coming and putting a lot of pressure on you, right? So what happens when they put so much of pressure or shake you? You will explode if you are like a coke tin. But if you are like a water bottle, you will not, right? So this is how you need to be when you are be proactive. So all proactive people behave like a water bottle, right? So now if you look at reactive people, how reactive people behaves. So reactive people always they say that I can't do it. I cannot, right? I cannot change this. I cannot do this. Or they say always somebody else is responsible for this. Somebody else. I am not. They always say that you must have seen people say government is responsible. You don't never feel that you are also responsible for whatever things are happening, right? So you always try to blame others. So here there is another one good example about be proactive is the circles. You take two circles, right? This is a circle of influence and this is circle of concern. So you always have a circle of influence, things you can control or change, right? So these are the things you can control, but these are the things that you cannot control. So how could you become more proactive? You can become more proactive by focusing on things you can change, you can control, or you can influence. Take charge of this green one. This is something in your hands. You can do this. But if you are talking about cannot control, let's say other people, can you control other people? You cannot do it in your lifetime. Can you control weather? No. Can you control things you did wrong in the past? No, right? Can you change how other people treat you? Treatment? No. So you cannot change all these things. You cannot take control of all these things. But what you can take control is your attitude. Can you change your attitude? It's in your hands, right? Can you change your mood? Yes, of course. You can change your mood. It's in your hands. Your reaction to good or bad things happen. Reaction. Can you change reaction to how things are happening? Yes, because it is in your hands. How I treat other people, treat others. Can you change this? Yes, you can change how you can treat other people. So friends, let's be proactive and take control of yourself and try to improve attitude, mood, reaction, how you treat others. It also helps you in character building. Let's get into the second habit. Begin with end in mind. So begin with end in mind. It's a self-explanatory, right? This is a habit of personal vision. This is a habit of personal vision. So, what do you want to accomplish? Right? Just if you think studies, right? You may think, oh my god, I need to read so many books. But if you look at the end results, right? What are the end results? How they are going to help you once you study well? Then your thinking patterns will change drastically, and then you will be able to read in a different way. For example, you are planning to build a house. What you do first? You will not just like that go ahead and build, right? First, what you will do? You will have a plan, right? Only after having a proper plan, you will start building it. So similarly, you should also decide in your life what you want to be in next 5 to 10 years, right? So you should have a proper plan of what you want to become in the 5 to 10 years of time. He gives another good example for begin with end in mind is, let's say you are on a deathbed and your friends, families, relatives, everybody is around you, right? And you are actually listening to them on the deathbed. And how you feel if people are talking good things about you, then you will feel happy. If they are talking bad things about you, then you will feel bad. So how you want to have these people, friends, relatives, think about you when you are on deathbed? So if you want something great, then you should also behave great when you are alive. If you are behaving bad when you are alive, then how do you expect people to think that you are doing good? So you should make sure that whatever the plan that you have, you need to have a proper plan first and then try to implement the plan so that people think about you in the same way. Let's say, for example, after 10 years, if a newspaper decides to do story about you, and let's say they interview 4 people about you, right? So they interview four people, could be friends or family, friends or family. What would you want them to say about you? Think about it now, today, and write down now itself in a book, and behave in such a way that your friends and family talks about you in the similar lines. So one of the best ways to incorporate this habit in your life is to develop your mission statement. So it is very important to have a mission statement in your life. So if you don't know where you are going, then how you will know when you will get there? So begin with end in mind. This is very, very important, right? So now let's look at the next habit. What is the next one? Put first things first. Put first things first. This is a habit of personal management. So this is a habit of personal management where we are putting our energy daily in our life. So look at four quadrants model which helps you in time management. So you need to have a to-do list and then decide which is important and which is not important. So this is the four quadrants. So here you say these are urgent ones and these are not urgent ones, and here it says this is important and this is not important. So where you need to focus first? You need to give more importance for the important activities. So don't spend time on which are not important. So this is the box where you need to focus more when it comes to important, because these are urgent as well, right? So this is urgent as well as important. These are the tasks that require immediate attention. Immediate attention is required, because if you don't act on these activities, you will be in trouble. These are crises and emergencies. And then if you look at not urgent, tasks that need an action but not immediate attention is required, but they are very important. But you don't have to act urgently, but they are very important in your life. For example, health, relationships. See, these are all very important in your life, one's life, right? Personal development. These are all very important, but they are not urgent, but you need to act on them little later. And then you look at not important things. So this is not important, but this is urgent. So tasks that require immediate action but do not contribute to your goals are not important now. It may be urgent for others but not for you. Let's say some emails, phone calls, or some interruptions, some meetings. They may not be important but they are urgent. You can delegate these activities as well. Then the fourth one, not important and not urgent. You can simply eliminate. What is the example? Social media. You keep searching Facebook, WhatsApp, you keep watching TV or unnecessary phone calls. These are not urgent, not important. You are just doing time pass. So giving priority to important things is very much important. This is what we call as do first things first. So friends, all these three habits that we discussed now, right, they will change you from dependent to independent, right? And the next three habits will change you from independent to interdependent, which is highly effective, right? So now let's look at next habit, right? Fourth one, that is think win-win. This is very, very important, and this is attitude related, the habit of mutual benefit. This is the habit of mutual benefit, right? Think about winning yourself as well as others, right? You, other, both. You should always think in a win-win situation. Try to figure out a way that both the parties are winning, either in terms of personal relationships or in the business. If you look at, you are the one person and there is another person, and you are losing, you lost and he won. This is not correct. And you are winning and he is losing. This is also not correct. And both are losing. This is also not correct. So what is correct is both should win. You need three type of qualities for win-win. Adopt, integrity, and maturity. What is adopt, integrity, maturity? And then you need abundance mentality also. Don't think that others should lose if you need to win. It's wrong. Life gives you many chances, and if not this one, you will get something else. And move on. Don't be so rigid. Always think win win. This is most important. Okay, so next, let's get into the next habit, fifth habit, that is seeks first, seek first to understand, and then to be understood. So seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is a habit of empathetic communication. Many people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply, right? This is the wrong way of doing things. I need to make sure people understand my point of view is the common paradigm. So, what is a common paradigm in all the people? They will think that I need to make sure people understand my point of view. So, they should understand my point of view. This is the common paradigm. But whereas highly effective paradigm, what is highly effective paradigm? What is highly effective paradigm? I have great influence with others if I truly understand them first. Understand them first. Then you can have greater influence with others. So this is very important, right? So we always say nobody is trying to understand us, but first listen completely and empathetically to understand them better. Understand from their perspective also. For example, if you go to a doctor and if he gives you a medicine without listening and understanding you completely, that medicine doesn't work, right? So similarly, if you reply to someone without understanding empathetically, then you will not be able to answer them properly. So there are five types of listening, right? So one is ignoring, not understanding them at all. They don't understand anything. They will just ignore. And second is pretending. They will just act. They don't listen. They act like listening. Then selective. Selective listening. This is half. They don't listen full. They will just listen half. Then attentive listening. They only understand the content. And finally, empathetic listening. They apply mind and they will understand problem. This is what is required in us. We should listen to them and understand them completely before reacting to them. So next, let us look at next habit, sixth one, that is synergize. What is this synergize? This is a habit of creative cooperation. You must have heard synergy many times. So what synergy? Two parties coming together to create something exceptional which cannot be done independently, right? So you cannot do independently, but you can do together. You can do something exceptional together, whereas you cannot do independently. This is called synergy. If you, for example, if you grow two trees together nearby, the roots form very strong, and they give lot of strength to the land in that place. And sometimes also says whole is greater than sum of its parts. Let's say you have 1 plus 1, it may be sometimes 11. Two ones, it can become 3 or more, or greater than 2. Value the difference in others, then you can learn more from and then earn more. Talk to people who are having different opinion and see how both of you can benefit. So now let us look at the last habit, which is sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw. This is a habit of self renewal. It's a habit of daily self renewal. So you need to sharpen the saw. What is this? Update your knowledge daily. Update your knowledge daily. Never stop learning. This channel is all about never stop learning. So you need to continuously learn. Things get outdated very fast nowadays, right? So you need to keep updating yourself and employ that in your life or in office or in business. Let's say a good example given by him, Stephen, is one man is cutting a tree in the forest, right? And there another person who went on the way, and then he said, "Since how long you are doing this cutting?" He answered, 5 hours. So he was cutting the tree since 5 hours. Then this person suggested him, what he suggested him is, first you sharpen the saw. Then you will be able to cut the tree very fast. But he refused, saying that he don't have time. That is what we do in our life. So you need to invest your time effectively, right? Invest time on your physical, where all the places you need to invest your time. Physical, mental, spiritual, social. But most of, right? You need to spend most of all these things, but most of us doesn't spend time on all these things. So this is not good. So what are these things? If you look at in detail, what are the physical things that you need to spend time? Sharpen, exercise, nutrition, stress management, all these things, physical things. And what are spiritual? Value clarification, values, commitment, study, meditation, and then if you look at mental, reading, planning, writing, visualizing, right? And then last one, social, or also called emotional, service, empathy. So we need to focus on all these parameters. So it is not easy to get perfection in all these 7 habits, but it's a continual journey, and keep adding value to your life and relationships by mastering all these 7 habits. So as I mentioned in the beginning, remember, efficient person climbs fast. But is there any use? We don't know. It depends on the luck. He may be reaching a wrong wall. But effective person, what he do, He first checks whether he is reaching to the right wall, and then he will start climbing. So make all these 7 habits part of your life and become very effective in your life. So friends, these are all about 7 habits of highly effective people. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and like this video and share this video to your friends so that they can benefit from this, and press bell icon if you want to watch my latest videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.